Okay, this song, Meditation on Breathing, we've done it before, but it should be pretty easy to figure out. There are a few different parts you can sing. We're going to layer them on one by one and sing anywhere that feels good to you. Go ahead.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe in, I'll breathe out love. Spirit of life. Let's do this twice, and let's use the plurals instead of singulars. What's our pitch? Ready? Okay. Spirit of life, come unto us. Sing in our heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold us close, wings set us free. Spirit of life, come to us, come to us. Once more. Spirit of life, come unto us. Sing in our heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set us free. Spirit of life,
Come, come, whoever you are welcome here. No matter your age, your size, the color of your eyes, your hair, your skin, you are welcome here. No matter your gender, whom you love, how you speak, or whatever your abilities, you are welcome here. You are welcome here, whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears in your eyes, you are welcome here. No matter what you have experienced in the past, no matter what awaits you in the future, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. This is a community of open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. We are welcome here at South Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. I am the Reverend Laura Young. My pronouns are she and her, and I am so happy to have our worship services returning to our outdoor pavilion. It's very exciting, a nice COVID silver lining, and that we learn how to do outdoor worship. Worship is always a collaborative effort, and this morning I am blessed and overjoyed to welcome Rob Carlson, DRE, as one of my cohorts here. We'll be doing many parts of the service together, as well as David Lane, Rick, John, and Palmer and Maureen on technology. And thank you also to Joshua and Tom this morning for helping with music. And welcome also to our online community. I know you can probably only pretty much see me, but there is a whole community of people here behind you. And I encourage you to, at the end of the service, before we turn the camera off, oh, Palmer is gonna let you see and wave. You can wave to them, and I assume that they are waving back in the Zoom room to you. I have a couple of announcements this morning. By the way, do we have anyone who's visiting with us for the first, second, third, or fourth time and wants to raise their hand and let us know that you're here? Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you're not fully connected to our community, make sure to visit our website or there's a QR code, which I didn't put the paper out this morning, but I can give you that QR code to get the order of service and to get connected via our Happenings newsletter. Couple of quick announcements. Yes. George? Yes, welcome, and Jim. And of course, we are also welcoming Liz and Russ, who are just stopping through on their way back to Atlanta this morning. Great to have them with us. Just one really brief announcement. Well, actually two. One, there is a picnic after church today, and there will be a youth versus adult soccer. Chris is the leader of that. She is already decked out and ready. And it's my understanding that, is it something like the last 8 years the youth have won? But not today. Okay, today is the day that it changes. Okay, very good. Excellent. I will remind you today also, because we are outdoors and it is pretty warm, make sure you drink water while we're here. Stay hydrated. We don't want anyone passing out before the soccer game, only afterwards. Yeah, not before. I have one really, really important announcement, which is starting on the 26th of June, the sort of last Sunday in June, our service time for the summer will go to 9:30 a.m. just for the summer, because we have several other sort of services that are outdoor here at Murray Park. And it just seemed like it would be cruel to you to say on the weekends it's at South Valley, it's at 10:30, and on the weekends it's at Murray Park, it's at 9:30. I figured you would never show up at the right time. So we're going to go to 9:30. It'll give you a chance to get church out of the way on a Sunday before it gets too hot. So consider it an opportunity to get up early on Sunday mornings. I haven't slept in on a Sunday in a long time. So let's take a moment right now just to greet each other and to share the warmth of community.
That's what they do. You light them up and they kind of take off. You'll see it during the time. And you have to do it like 30 times. What I do is I actually hold this end. Yeah. So if you do that a bunch of times, yeah, usually they stay up. No, I wasn't saying. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Now, friends, as we return to our places, let us prepare to light our chalice this morning. And as we light our chalice, we invite you to stand in body, mind, or spirit as we say our chalice lighting words and also use our actions if you like. And those at home are invited to light a chalice and share in this ritual by entering "chalice is lit at" and the name of your street in the chat box. And we say together, we light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action. Friends, as we gather this morning, we are mindful that we do so on the ancestral and current homelands of the Shoshone, Paiute, Goshute, and Ute tribes. This is indeed a beautiful landscape, tended by generations of families who lived, loved, and cherished this place. May we, as Unitarian Universalists, learn from these examples as we seek to live in harmony with this land and with one another. We acknowledge the complex histories that perpetuated deep harm on our Native siblings, and we commit ourselves to authentically and with honesty engage in the necessary work that will produce justice for those who have been disenfranchised and continue to be disenfranchised. And we work to promote healing for the whole of the earth and all of its peoples.
Let us settle now into a moment of silence, resting our feet on the cement, knowing that there is earth beneath it. And just breathe. Breathe with me and fully arrive. We open this worship with the words of W.E.B. Du Bois. The prayer of our souls is a petition for persistence, not for the one good deed or single thought, but deed on deed and thought on thought, until day calling upon day shall make a life worth living. Let us worship. And now if you are a young person or young person at heart and you want to come up and sit on cement stairs, you may do so for our story for all ages. Oh my, Rob, what is that? That looks like a scary box.
Gosh, yeah. Well, Reverend Laura, I'm not really sure quite yet what I've come upon, but I found this weird box.
Was it in the storage room of the church?
You know what? That's the other weird thing. I don't remember where I found this. It just kind of appeared.
Wow.
And here it is now. And so I'm not really sure what to do with it.
Should we open it?
I don't know. It looks kind of
I think we should open it, Rob.
doesn't it? Are
I
you
think
sure?
we should. I think maybe we should put it right here and you should let me open
I
it.
don't know. It looks like it's been closed for a long time.
I want to open the box.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I just, after I found this, I started thinking of this old myth that I remembered. Set this down.
So I can open it.
Well, let's just see what you think. I mean, and you might remember this too. I don't know. It was like a long time ago. There were like these two brothers, Epimetheus and Prometheus. They were gods. They were good. They had good hearts. They were good friends. Anyway, one day, if I remember right, Prometheus gets in trouble with Zeus. He was angry over something or other, and Zeus declared that humankind didn't deserve to have the use of fire. But because he had a kind heart and he knew how much we need fire for food and warmth, so Prometheus gave humankind the secret of fire, even though Zeus had told all the gods not to do that. Zeus was furious that his order had been ignored, and as a punishment, Zeus chained Prometheus to a rock for many years. So already this story is getting kind of weird.
It's kind of a scary story.
It sounds kind of scary.
I don't know. Like, do you think that box has something to do with it?
I don't know. That's just that's the first thing I thought of.
It sound like a familiar story to me, because I think the next part is that like Zeus wasn't satisfied with this horrible punishment for Prometheus.
Yep.
Like, because once Prometheus was chained to the rock, Zeus went after his brother, the gentle and kind-hearted Epimetheus. Now, Zeus didn't chain Epimetheus to a rock and have an eagle eat his liver every day like Prometheus. He had a more sneaky kind of punishment involved. First, Zeus ordered the god's handyman, the maker of things, Hypatia, to make Zeus a daughter. And she was a beautiful woman, kind, wise, had a great sense of humor. She could cook brownies really well. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it was good. And he brought her to life. And then because brownies were like Epimetheus' like favorite thing.
That's what I always heard. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't come from a box either.
No. From the gods.
From the gods. So he brought her to life, and he named this beautiful daughter Pandora. And Zeus knew that.
You know the story too. I know it. They've heard this story.
They know it. Pandora, not the radio station. This is before satellite radio. Zeus told Epimetheus that his brother Hypatia had to be punished. And that's why he was chained to a rock, and he felt sorry about this punishment. So as a makeup gift, he was going to give Pandora, this is a little patriarchal back then, but so we'll just accept that part, is going to give Pandora to Epimetheus as his bride. And that was not the truth, of course. And everyone knew you shouldn't really trust Zeus because he always had something up his sleeve. But, Epimetheus thought, all right, she is a really lovely woman and those brownies are excellent, so I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, Epimetheus was really kind, gentle-hearted, thoughtful, but he was not a fool. He knew that Zeus probably was up to something. But whoa. Hold on. he knew Zeus was up to something, but he knew that he loved Pandora at first sight. So Zeus gave the newlyweds a gift. And this is where it starts getting kind of iffy. Some say it was a jar, some say it was a box. And whatever it was locked, and it came with a note that said, "Do not open." Attached to the note, though, was a key. So what are they trying to do?
So tricky.
It was all very curious. So maybe you and maybe some of you can guess what happened next.
Yep.
Yep.
She opened the box.
Yep. Yes. Pandora's curiosity got the best of her. One day she used the key to open the box.
Can I open the box?
Let me just.
I want to open the box. This is the part where I get to open the box, right?
Yeah, let me just get back a little bit.
Okay.
So her curiosity got the best of her. She used the key to open the box. Bugs. Oh, bugs. No. Oh. These bugs are bigger than the normal versions are supposed to be. What is this? Oh, I knew it. No, Laura, what have we done?
It's coming back.
Oh, no, we shouldn't have done it.
Okay, no more throwing of bugs.
Please.
Okay. So Pandora slammed the lid closed.
Pandora slammed the lid closed, but it was too late.
So was it actually bugs?
Probably not, right?
Yeah. Because I think I remember the story being that it was something else that came out of the box.
I remember hearing something about it being hope.
No, before that, the bugs.
Oh, the bugs. Yeah, there were bugs that came out, and so it looked, all of the bad things in life, in the world, flew out of the box. Envy, sickness, hate, disease, all of these things that these bugs represent flew out of the box. And then that's when Pandora tried to close it, but it was too late. All of this sickness and disease and all of these terrible things were already out in the world.
Yep. So then Epimetheus, her husband, heard her crying because, who wants to be responsible for letting forth all the disease and illness and sickness in the world, right? Remember, it's just a story. Women are not to blame for disease and sickness in the world. But one thing happened just before Pandora slammed the box. She realized that there was one more thing in the box. What was it? Who remembers that part of the story? What was left in the box? Hope. Hope was left in the box, right? Hope. Hope was left in the box. And hope has made all the difference in the world ever since. Okay.
I really kind of like this version of the story a little better now that I remember it a little better. And I wonder, maybe we'll just keep this box.
Maybe we'll keep the box.
What do y'all think? Should we hang on to this box?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll use it later.
We'll use it later.
Cool.
Yeah. We're going to call it the Wonder Box.
I like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem as scary.
Not so scary. Thank you. Thank you, Max. And for those of you who are in the audience, if you would like a symbol of hope, you can come up and get a butterfly. We have a butterfly clip for all of those who would like one this morning. All right, and so ends our story for all ages. Come get your butterfly. Young and old can come and get a butterfly. No.
Here's the butterflies.
Real butterflies.
Yes, I can make sure you get them.
They're little clips. We'll get a new one. Get you a new one. That one broke.
Of course. You go around. Of course. There you go. Do you want to? Here you go.
All right, so now we're going to take a couple moments to do some end of the year thank yous. First, if you were an OWL facilitator this year, if you facilitated our junior high or senior high, our whole lives curriculum, and you are here, and stand up. We want to just recognize and thank you. Thank you, especially to Brenda Thomas, who was our coordinator, Pastor Chelsea, who's from Holiday UCC, for being with us today. I just want to name all of the dedicated facilitators we had this year: Larissa Hunt, Christy Montrone Burns, Eddie Granada, Trista Emmer, Dr. Chris Gamble, who was with UCC Church Holiday, Rob, Joanna McLean. Those were our high school facilitators, and also our 5th to 7th grade facilitators were Kristen May, Brenda Thomas, and Pastor Chelsea. So thank you very much for bringing that life-saving curriculum to our children and our youth this year. And it's a major part of our ministry here at South Valley to ensure that our young people can have healthy, responsible, justice-rich, loving relationships throughout their whole life. And we also have one more very special thank you this year. I'm going to hand it over to Rob for that one.
Well, even though today was kind of bittersweet for me, but I'm really excited because today gives me another opportunity to brag about Grace. Where's Grace? You want to come up? So if you haven't been here in the last couple of weeks, we have been celebrating with Grace because she is entering the final term of her regular coursework at Weber State University, getting ready for her degree in elementary education, and she'll be starting her student teaching in the fall. And yeah, give it up. Which is all just very exciting. And those of you who know Grace and who have known Grace, she has been a child of this congregation. She is already just so wonderful at what she does. She spent many years in our butterflies classroom and doing various things around our church that she has come to know so well, with our RE program that she has come to know so well. And she let us know some time ago that because of the rigor of finishing up this work with school, as often happens, we have to prioritize things. And so this will be Grace's last Sunday as our religious exploration assistant. And I mentioned to Grace last week that this has really been a special year for me, Grace, having you in this role, because this is the first time in the years that I've been doing this kind of work that I have been able to have a colleague in my department, and just all of your creativity and the ways that you problem solve, and just the welcoming face that you have put on the RE program at South Valley is just remarkable. And we just love you so much. And we know we'll see you around, but we just can't thank you enough, but we're going to try. Show Grace some love. So we have, So we have a couple of things for you to take with you. These for some color to go with the one from last week, and then just also something else from the church. We just are so grateful for you and are so proud. And I personally am just, as far as our work together, I feel it was such a gift to be able to work with you. And I look forward to all of the awesome stuff that you will do in your future, and all the ways that you'll still bless our community at South Valley. Thank you, Grace.
We will have a gift for the whole congregation celebrating grace. Bailey Johnson, as you may or may not know, she is a baker and she has a beignet business, and she is baking beignets for us this morning and will be here shortly she's here. All right. I don't see her yet. Where is she? Oh, there she is in the back. So she has some beignets for us to celebrate Grace's departure. And so when you have a beignet, do it in the name of Grace. So we're going to take some time now to do the offertory. I don't think I actually formally have any ushers other than Sophia. So maybe someone else can sort of assist with that. Brenda will help with that. Great.
This community, our church, and its many ministries are only made possible by the gifts that you give of your time, your talent, and your treasures. Many of you pledge monthly to support our work, and for this we are grateful. Your gifts help to ensure that we are able to live our values of justice and love in the world outside. Part of our ministry at South Valley includes sharing our Sunday worship offerings with a charitable organization that aligns with our principles and values. For May and June, we have selected the World Central Kitchen, which works with local resources, works with local resources to provide freshly made meals on the front lines of global humanitarian, climate, and community crises, including the war in Ukraine and in Uvalde, Texas, and Buffalo, New York. Food is central to life and family all over the world, so please give generously. And please join me in our offertory words in just a moment. They will be printed in your order of service. And so we say together, we are this church. We are its hands, its heart, its together we share the wealth of this community and sustain it with our gifts. We are now accepting the offering, and for those at home, you are invited to use the giving link in the online order of service.
Something so lovely about seeing the cottonwood blowing in the wind to that song. Thank you, John. For all we have received and all we have found the courage to give, may we be truly grateful. May these gifts be a blessing for South Valley and for World Central Kitchen. I want to be contained. Pray with me. Pray with me in whatever tradition that makes sense to you. If it is just a listening and a stilling in your heart, if it is something greater than yourself, I just invite you into a time of quiet reflection, meditation, and settling. My darling, spirit of life that shows up in the greenest of the grass, in the blowing of the cottonwood, in the breeze and in the sunshine, in the exchange of heart to heart that is part of this community. We invoke, invite, welcome, and bless the humanity that is present here today. We are grateful, and help us to remain grateful for the blessings of this community, for the ways in which it knits and weaves us together when our hearts are broken, for the way in which our broken hearts may teach each other the path of mending. Spirit, we know we live in a broken and troubled world, and we trust always that hope remains. That hope remains not just as a story we tell one another, but as a living survival instinct deep in our humanity that encourages us generation upon generation to show up again and again and again, ever creating that web of connectivity that creates the foundation, the framework, and the holding for a justice-rich and compassion-flowing world. May it be so, and amen. I do not want to trip on this. At least there's not a bee like there was that last time. So today, as we gather together in community, we do so knowing that our hearts are forever breaking. I will name for us this morning the epidemic of gun violence in the United States that has taken far too many lives. And the time for thoughts and for prayers that are not backed up with sensible reforms that put life first is long past. As a community, we can be diverse in our perspectives on gun ownership and the Second Amendment, and we can be united in our stance against violence and our commitment to supporting evidence-based solutions. Our Unitarian Universalist principles are exceedingly clear on this. We value and affirm the inherent worth and dignity of each person. We are therefore called to respect ourselves and one another. We value and affirm justice, equity, and compassion in all of our relations. We therefore have a collective and communal responsibility to one another. Our goal is a world community with peace, justice, and liberty for all people. We value and affirm the right of conscience and the democratic process, calling us to be engaged in the political process, using our voice and our vote to create positive change for the benefit of a free and fair society, a safe society. In the pursuit of these goals, which are never single points of arrival, but are always something that we are becoming, we draw and rely on many sources of wisdom. For some, calling upon the biblical prophets is primary. Prophetic voices such as the prophet Isaiah from the Hebrew Bible and Jesus of Nazareth in the Christian Testament, for some, these are the core teachings. For they offer a clarity of vision and a movement of the heart that inspires and emboldens action for peace. Jesus was exceedingly clear that our primary sin for which we must repent is the misuse of power in human relations. And he was crucified for emboldening the people who followed him in suing for peace. Others of us in this community find inspiration in the texts and the teaching of the Buddha, who laid a path for liberation from suffering in order to make space for deeper engagement. Some of us find wisdom in the Prophet Muhammad, who understood deeply the complexity of human hearts and insisted on acceptance and fairness in human communities. And some of us find our grounding in the silent witness of the natural world and the deep mystery and the surprise of human life. All of us here value the scientific process and evidence-based solutions as a primary means by which we will address harmful systems and bring about positive change. All of us locate love, justice, and compassion as the landing and launching places from which we will create change. As a community, we share a commitment to address the root causes of violence and are resolute in our purpose to bring about an immediate decrease and rapid cessation of death by guns. This is not about vilification of political leaders. This is not about wild accusations of conspiracy theories. This is not about arguing on Facebook or creating impenetrable echo chambers on Facebook where we have no dialogue that is happening. This is about honest engagement, difficult conversations, and effective action that will bring about a necessary and vital change in our world. Children should not and must not die in their classrooms. And arming teachers and training youth how to hide cannot be our solution. Faithful folks should not and must not die in their houses of worship. And bolting the doors of our churches and synagogues and mosques cannot be our solution. Lovers of dancing and music and the arts should not and must not die while enjoying the beautiful gifts of our artists and sharing beloved community with one another. And reducing an expression of the arts cannot be our solution. So this is my call to you. In a moment, we're going to engage in a ritual together of co-creating the ground for change. Engage with one another. Engage in this community. We can do this. And we must. Each of our principles and sources lead us in this direction. They create a framework of loving accountability for one another and our world. It is truly up to us. It is truly up to us. And the world needs us now as much as it ever did to create a world rich in justice and overflowing with peace. The task is larger than any one of us and greater than even this one community. But that is where the hope comes in, that butterfly in the box that is instilled deeply into our hearts. that can connect us person to person over those difficult conversations and through those technical conversations around what are the right policies to put in place. The goal is that community rich in justice and overflowing with compassion. Let us co-create a space now together for the grounding and the binding and the mourning in the necessary work ahead. At this time, we will hold a vigil for those impacted by gun violence. In these baskets, we have prepared muslin squares. And they are pre-prepared for tearing into strips like this. It's easy. In a moment, we're going to pass these out to the community, and each person is invited to, if you're on the end of the road, take one of the cloths and tear your strip and pass it down to the next person. There are plenty of extras here, so you might take a couple and pass them out amongst yourselves. Once everyone has taken and torn a strip, we will pause and we will begin to read, not the names of those individuals that have been harmed or killed, but the names of the towns and the cities and the communities that have experienced gun violence since May 14th, the day of the attack in Buffalo, New York. This is an effort for us to collectively understand that this problem is so great and it affects every one of us. A mass shooting is difficult to define, and you may find yourself arguing as we read the names of these towns that maybe that one doesn't count because maybe not enough people were injured. But that in itself is part of the problem. That we feel the need to define how bad death by gun violence is based on the number of people that were injured or killed. As we read the names, Rob and I will tear a strip for each place that we name. And once all the cities have been read, we will hold a moment of collective silence. And we will repeat, you will repeat with me the following phrase: Spirit, hear our prayers and guide us to boldly sue for peace. Then, as a symbol of our prayer moving out into the world and into the hearts and minds of those best positioned to create comprehensive and effective reform that brings about an end of violence, we will begin to tie the pieces of muslin together into a single chain that we will begin here at the altar.
This is an act that symbolizes rending and mending the world. We will do this together as a means of expressing our sorrow, our outrage, and our solidarity with those most impacted. Once we begin to build the chain up here, you may also begin to tie your strips to those sitting near you. David will lead us in some drumming. We'll have some singing as we begin this mending. We will sing until all of the pieces have been retethered to one another, knitting us into a community of shared commitment.
Once torn, muslin cannot go back to what it was prior. It is forever changed and altered. So it is also with the lives lost and the survivors of gun violence. Prayers for dead children do not assuage a parent's grief, but neither does numbness or political vitriol. We can and must do better. So today we walk to the heart of grief as a community in order to bring about change. And I know what I am asking you to do right now is hard. We do hard things together in this community. We do hard things. This pain is very real and very raw, and this is a safe place to feel it together and come to the other side. So trust one another. Hold and create this space with us.
Loved ones and survivors of gun violence do not ask to become advocates for gun reform. They are forced to do it by circumstance. And our most authentic response must be to express solidarity by working to make sure that nobody else has to become an advocate for reform because their lives were overturned by horrific and preventable violence. So in this spirit, let us walk with one another and open our ritual with 1 minute of silence.
Let us begin. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I do need a couple of my volunteers to come forward to help pass out. Yeah, Maddie, you want to help pass out? Brooklyn, sorry. Not Maddie. June 9th, Smithsburg, Maryland. June 8th, Yuma, Arizona. June 7th, Chicago, Illinois. June 7th, Baltimore, Maryland. June 7th, Chicago, Illinois, 2. June 7th, Portsmouth, Virginia.
June 6th, Salt Lake City, Utah. June 5th, Andrews, South Carolina.
Don't tie them together yet. Just wait.
June 5th, Saginaw, Michigan. June 5th, Mesa, Arizona. June 5th, Chattanooga, Tennessee. June 5th, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
June 4th, Summerton, South Carolina. June 4th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. June 4th, Hempstead, New York. June 4th, Enterprise, Nevada. June 4th, Macon, Georgia. June 4th, Socorro, Texas.
June 4th, Phoenix, Arizona. June 3rd, Omaha, Nebraska. June 3rd, Chester, Virginia. June 3rd, Birch River, West Virginia. June 1st, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
May 31st, Waco, Texas. May 31st, Wyoming, Michigan. May 30th, Charleston, South Carolina. May 30th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. May 30th, Boston Harbor, Michigan. May 29th, Houston, Texas, the 7th that year. May 29th, Chicago, Illinois. May 29th, Taft, Oklahoma.
May 29th, Henderson, Nevada. May 29th, Phoenix, Arizona. May 29th, Fergus, California. May 29th, Chicago, Illinois. May 28th, Memphis, Tennessee. May 28th, Malabar, Florida.
May 28th, Fresno, California. May 28th, Chattanooga, Tennessee. May 28th, Colorado Springs, Colorado.
May 27th, Austin Township, Michigan. May 27th, Anniston, Alabama. May 25th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. May 24th,
Uvalde,
Uvalde,
Texas.
Texas. May 23rd, Cleveland, Ohio. May 23rd, North Charleston, South Carolina.
May 22nd, San Juan, Puerto Rico. May 22nd, Riverside, Alabama. May 21st, Tacoma, Washington. May 21st, Goshen, Indiana. May 20th, San Bernardino, California. And May 20th, New Orleans, Louisiana.
May 20th, Kissimmee, Florida. May 19th, Chicago, Illinois. May 19th, Houston, Texas.
Do we have any more of the muslin? I'm actually out.
Extra.
May 18th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. May 17th, East Palo Alto, California. May 15th, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. May 15th, Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
Laguna Woods, California. May 15th, Houston, Texas.
May 15th, Amarillo, Texas. And May 14th, Buffalo, New York. Less than 1 month. Join me in repeating our litany. Spirit, hear our prayers. I'll say it first and you can say it back. I know. So, Spirit, hear our prayers and guide us boldly to sue for peace. Spirit, hear our prayers and guide us to boldly sue for peace. 2 more times. Spirit, hear our prayers and guide us to boldly sue for peace. Spirit, hear our prayers and guide us to boldly sue for peace. A reading by Jan Richardson, The Blessing of Hope, from The Cure for Sorrow. So may we know the hope. So may we know the hope that is not just for some day, but for this day. Here, now, in this moment that opens to us, hope not made of wishes, but of substance. Hope made of sinew and muscle and bone. Hope that has breath and a beating heart. Hope that will not keep quiet and be polite. Hope that knows how to holler when it is called for. Hope that knows how to sing when there seems little cause. Hope that raises us from the dead, not someday, but this day, every day, again and again and again. Let us rend and mend this world together. At this time, we're going to start using our drums, and we're going to begin to tie the pieces of cloth together. The goal is to get one single strand.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. This is around, so come in wherever you'd like. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
here in the mystery of the hour. Gather here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gather here in the mystery of the hour. Gather here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an
guiding spirit, loving spirit, wild spirit who goes by many names. Even when it seems that around us life is being extinguished, even as it seems that dialogue is being extinguished, we are mindful that there is a light in the darkness which the darkness cannot overcome. And so in that spirit, we will now extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of action. We hold each other in our hearts until we meet again. Blessed be, may it be so.
May the light of love shine upon you, and between you and out among you, and bring you peace. For this is the day we are given. Let us be glad and rejoice. Go forth now, and let us enjoy the fruits of our communion and our community with a soccer game.